In a small, bustling town in India, there lived a woman named Latha. She didn't have a big house, no car, and not a single rupee in savings. But she possessed something far more precious than what many wealthy people had: a kind heart and a bright, radiant smile. Every morning, before the sun even rose, Latha would leave her modest little home and walk to the local flower market. She picked the freshest flowers, jasmine, roses, and marigolds, and brought them to a small roadside corner near a temple to sell. With her own hands, she crafted small, beautiful garlands and sold them to people heading to the temple or early to work. Each day, she earned only a few coins, but she never complained or seemed unhappy. She greeted everyone with a smile, always spoke politely, and remained grateful even though her life lacked many comforts. Her positivity touched many people. They loved her not just for her flowers, but for who she was. The monsoon arrives, and so do challenges. Then one day, the monsoon season arrived. It began with a light drizzle, but quickly turned into torrential rain that lasted day after day. Streets flooded, the sky stayed gray with no sign of sunshine. Latha's flowers were soaked, crushed by the rain, no longer fragrant or fresh. Each morning she still went to her usual spot, standing in the cold rain, her sari completely soaked. Most of her flowers were ruined, and people hurried by, shielding themselves with umbrellas, not stopping to buy. 3 days passed without a single sale. Her back ached, her legs were sore, and slowly a quiet sadness began to seep into her heart. One rainy morning, as she looked down at her wilted flowers and felt the rain soaking into her skin, she nearly burst into tears. But when she looked around, she saw others struggling too. Faces tense, eyes cold, everyone rushing without joy. Then, something clicked inside her. Maybe they need a smile even more than I need a sale. One small act, one big change. She stood up, waved to the passers-by, and said loudly, "Flowers are free today. Take a garland and smile, even if it's raining." People stopped, confused. Some smiled shyly. A few took the garlands and whispered, "Thank you." A little girl giggled and suddenly hugged her tightly. A man who was angrily shouting after dropping his phone was gently handed a marigold. Latha looked at him kindly and said, "Maybe today is a bad day, but you are not. It will pass." The man paused. His face softened, and he quietly walked away. In the days that followed, Latha continued to give away her soaked flowers with a smile and gentle words, asking nothing in return. She wasn't making any money, but somehow her heart felt lighter. An unexpected visitor. A reward for kindness. One morning, as the clouds finally began to part, a man in a crisp white shirt, carrying an umbrella and a briefcase, walked toward her. "Are you Latha?" he asked. She looked up, surprised. "My name is Vikas. Last week I took one of your flowers. It was wet, but your words stayed with me. You said, 'Even when it rains, we must keep blooming.' That day I was broken. My business was collapsing. My father was in the hospital, and I was ready to give up." Latha listened, eyes wide with astonishment. "But your kindness lit a spark of hope in me. I promised myself, if I ever got back on my feet, I would help someone the way you helped me." He handed her a small folder and a key. "I own a small flower supply store nearby. Now it's yours. You can sell your flowers there, sheltered from the rain. No rent for now. Pay me back whenever you can. No rush. Just keep smiling and keep spreading your kindness. A new beginning." Tears rolled down Latha's cheeks. She remembered all the times she smiled even when no one bought her flowers, when people ignored her, when the rain never seemed to end. And now that same kindness had come full circle, like a quiet miracle. The next day she opened her new little flower shop. It had a table, shelves, and a roof over her head. Her flowers stayed fresh longer, and her customers stayed dry. But more than that, people came to feel something else, the warmth of her presence. She hired 2 unemployed women from her neighborhood, taught them how to make garlands and how to greet people with kindness. Her shop became well known in the area. People lovingly called it the Smiling Flower Shop. The circle of kindness continues. Years passed. One rainy morning, Latha looked out the window of her shop and saw a young girl trembling in the rain, holding a basket of soaked flowers. The image instantly reminded her of herself from so many years ago. She stepped out with an umbrella, approached the girl gently, and said, "Come in, child. Don't let the rain stop you from blooming." The girl shook her head and said sadly, "But all my flowers are ruined. Who will buy them?" Latha smiled softly. "Then let's give them away with love. You never know whose heart they might touch." Life isn't always sunny. There will be storms, there will be struggles. There will be setbacks, but even in the rain, we always have a choice: to smile, to be kind, and to keep blooming. A small act of kindness can spark something greater than we ever imagine. A smile during hardship is not weakness, it is strength. And that strength can grow into a miracle, not just for others, but for ourselves.